They picked us because they said that we were in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure you can relate to that. They also picked us because they never dreamed that we would have the audacity to think that we could challenge the Navy. Never mind, beat the Navy. And we did. The Navy associated our poverty with ignorance. They considered our faith in God naive, and they mistook our gentleness for weakness. They insulted us with promises of incentives meant to divide those who would trade the welfare of their community for selfish gain. You must not be divided. You will only win this battle together. They neglected to realize that there was no incentive big enough to put our quality of life at risk. So they offered us all kinds of, oh, they're going to be jobs, and they're going to be, but the fact is there was only going to be noise and pollution. They insulted us with offers of fire trucks in return for destroying our whole way of life. Eastern North Carolina, and this time specifically Gates and Camden counties, are the victims of overdevelopment in Virginia. You might as well know what this is really about. The placement of the OLF in these counties is clearly based solely on complaints about noise, particularly in and around the Fentress Field and Oceana Naval Air Stations. During our fight, a Virginia-based organization that called themselves the Concerned Citizens Against Jet Noise stated that their mission was mitigating the adverse environmental and economic impacts of current and future military aircraft. Robert Natter, who was admiral at the time, wrote that it is precisely because of community concerns about jet noise, that we are carefully exploring the establishment of an additional outlying landing field to accommodate Super Hornet training. That's what he said. It was about mitigating noise. There was no mention of the necessity of the OLF for our national defense. It was all about mitigating noise in Virginia. I suggest to you that today nothing has changed. It's still about mitigating noise. The fact is that the OLF is not necessary. It is all about mitigation of noise and pollution in Virginia. Yes. Just dump the pollution and noise in Eastern North Carolina and keep the benefits in Virginia.
Because this really is about, it's a health issue. This is about the poor and powerful forces believing that they can just push the poor around any way, and any kind of way. And please hear me, those of you who are farmers. You may have a lot of land, but folk in power places still see you as poor. They see you as rural, hicks, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so there is this sense that we're just too politically apolitical to actually be involved. And then it is about, this is the black belt. So we tried over in Washington County, and you got all these tractors and farmers working together, and civil rights leaders riding on the back of tractors. And they met this coalition and said, well, that didn't work. So let's go over here to the black belt in Eastern North Carolina and see if we can't pull this off over here. And this is about noise decibels. Noise is a health issue. It's about people being able to hear. It's about what your children, about air pollution. And people are strange when it comes to this air pollution, which, by the way, when something in the air is not confined to where the landing strip is. Yeah, but over the years, a little bit becomes a lot. You know, and a little bit of some things is enough. You know, just a little bit of a bullet will kill you. Huh? You see what I'm saying? You know, you don't get just a little bit pregnant. You hear what I'm saying? Some things, a little bit of it will kill you. And they're going to tell y'all it's noise, but it's just a little bit, just when they lift up. But over time, a little bit. They say, well, it's just a little bit of air pollution, but over time. And see, one of the things I think that we ought to add to this, particularly those of you that are farmers, see, you sell your goods. And what if it gets out that your plants and your crops are being covered with this pollution? So my point is, this fight isn't just about you. See, you gotta understand, and we learned this, you know, ain't no such thing as a free ride.
No, sir.
My wife is stuck with me right now because she got in the car and went to McDonald's with me. I just offered her a ride to McDonald's. And she thought I was just offering her a ride to McDonald's. But I had a whole line of things that I was planning on carrying out. See, y'all laughing, but see, you don't know what else is going to follow this. See, they're not telling you all of that. See, because I've lived long enough to know sometimes folk just want to get a hook in you, or just a anchor. See, if you can get one field down here and a few planes, then what else can you see? And nobody's going to tell you all of that. They're just going to tell you we're doing this right now. And this is it. But you don't know what it's going to cause, not only now, but for your children. And the health problems may not show up in you, but they may show up in your children. And any people that will not fight for their children are not even worthy of having children.
Yes, sir.
There's some fights I don't engage now. If I haven't gotten most of what I've gotten by 45 or 50, then I'm pitiful. For me. The rest of my life now is not about me. There comes a point that your life is no longer about you. It had nothing else to do with you. You just about receive all that you're going to get. It becomes the issue of legacy. It becomes the issue of living for the generation behind you. A few people decided to be vigilant. I don't need, and you ought to say, we don't need everybody. Just find a few Gideonites. Just find a few folk that's willing to stand for what's right. And not just stand one day, but stand today, tomorrow, and until victory comes. And when God sees your faith,